You have a knack for turning up exactly when needed, and this is no exception. Mana, impeccable timing as always. I'd heard you were off on the 1st as part of your efforts to investigate the final days. Well, as so often seems to be the case, while you were away, we've had some few developments, which we can discuss in just a moment. For now, however, I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have you back. Thanks, Kral. So, have you learned out more of the final days? Then the journey was well worth the risk. No doubt your newfound knowledge will be a great boon to us all. Unfortunately, during your time on the 1st, events here have taken a turn for the worse. The Sands are running themselves ragged, trying to contain the spread of the blasphemies, but it's a losing battle. To try and ascertain the where and why of it, Alice and Alphino have been traveling all over. Of all the regions they visited, Locus Amonis, that's Corvus, was one of the worst affected. Tancred, Estinian, and Graha took a detachment of allied soldiers there to offer aid and succor to those in need. But the province advanced. They've only managed to visit a handful of coastal villages. It was an accomplishment worth celebrating, still, but a drop in the bucket at best. In the meantime, Ishtola and Master Matoya have been making a concerted effort to establish contact with Heidelin in the Ethereal Sea, but to no avail. As for Tataru and I, we've been keeping a close eye on the Forum. From what we gather, they've been constructing a vessel to ferry people to the moon, an ambitious project that has likely been years, if not decades, in the making. However, since we've seen no sign of it thus far, I suspect it's still incomplete. You will also recall the proposal issued by Master Foshino to the people of Ratsithan. Following their discussion, Reacher declared his support for the plan and urged those who wish to evacuate to accept the Forum's invitation. So far so good, but that's where things get a little strange. Apparently, the Forum caught wind of the lunar teleporter in the Tower of Babel and decided to use it to deliver people to the moon instead of their mysterious ship. Therefore, to secure safe passage for the Hanish refugees to the tower, Alphino, Alice, Estinian, and Graha traveled to Garlemald not long ago. Trouble is, the capital was hardly the safest place to begin with, and now the final days have come to Garlemald. Shortly after our friends arrived, they were sent to rendezvous with Master Forshino. Then panic broke out and our communications were severed. From what fragments we were able to make out before the leak shell went completely silent, we can only assume the phenomenon has spread to the capital. The others need you, Mana. Please, you must help them. Having you there will make all the difference, I'm sure of it. Camp Broken Glass is their first port of call, so you'd best start there. Hopefully, Lucia will know where they are. There's no telling what you'll be walking into, so you'd best take every possible precaution. You got it, Kryle. Graha's family's totally dead. Over in Corvus. I'll be sure to let Thancred and Y'shtola know you're back. At least they're responding to their link girls. It pains me to send you off alone into unknown peril after you've only just returned, but 12 willing, you won't be alone for long. Okay, bye. There it is. I see you, Lucia. I know you're here. Well, I'm dead inside and ready for anything. Mana, and not a moment too soon. The skies over Garlemald are ablaze, but it's events on the ground that concern me. As you have heard, your fellow scions arrived ahead of you. We cut the customary greeting short after we received word from our troops on the Magna Glacius that the Forum's airship had landed. It was then that the heavens began to burn. I dispatched your friends at once to ensure the refugees come to no harm. I would have you join them immediately. Additional support is en route, but we will discuss them later. I trust you are ready to depart? Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Don't mind if I do. Let's go.
No. 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 We were promised an escape. Not the same moon we fled.
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy. Come, we must build a line of defense. How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
I can handle this pair.
You shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
As you wish, my little lord. Our commander beats the tension. See to the wounded.
Help is at hand.
Levier Turgle. Okay. Okay. Damage dot AoE. Heal, AoE heal, and shield. Okay.
Those who can stand, come with me.
You're safe now. Easy now. Deep breaths.
Worry not for the refugees, but for yourself, boy.
What?
Don't. I don't want to die.
Forward! Let not a single fiend escape!
Yay! A.
Wait, that's... Euless and the army. So, you've recovered then? In time enough to be of aid, for once. We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight! To repay your salvation in kind, or with better!
Let's
For
go.
Garlemald has her pride!
I'm glad he's okay, and I hope he stays okay.
Of that I've no doubt.
Good gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army. Oh!
The besties are doing work.
I had hoped to take all of them down at once.
Think a withdrawal might be in order?
Ah, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate. To be devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices. Now, let's go!
day.
I'm not done yet.
None to worry about. The air crackles with energy. Find cover!
As they say, turnabout's fair play. On guard.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back.
Thank you for saving our lives once again. I remember you, from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece. Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Look out!
That's not quite what happened in the trailer.
Get out of here! Quickly!
That's a little different from what I remember.
I won't lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve.
Get it together, Alizé. You're embarrassing yourself. And in front of Father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of her as it is. You mustn't let our sword in the darkness fight alone. I can look after myself, you know.
Everything's in order, I trust?
I've had enough of this rabble! Come on!
It's a little bit different from the trailer. Just a little bit. That's okay.
Oh, a trio for the ages.
Boop. Screenshot. Alright, 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 alright.
Just the beginning.
I had a feeling I'd find you here.
Oh, hi.
This should be the last of the worst troublemakers. With me!
On your feet.
I just want more of this. This is all I want. This is good. This is good food that nurtures your soul. This is what I needed right now.
Leave the healing to me. I am in your debt.
Now, where were we?
Oh, that's the good stuff. More of this, please.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Sharlayan is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Sharlayan. Please.
We would be fools to refuse such a generous offer made in earnest.
It seems they've a new destination.
So what'd we come to Garlemald for?
The people of Radzat-Han have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree. Fortunately, they have you to look after them.
Yes. Well.
Behind you! Just there!
Hey, where's Xenos? Is Xenos just gone? He's not.
More of them.
He's not just gone, but what if Xenos is just gone? Oh my god. No. Speak of the freaking devil. No. Don't be on our side.
Xenos.
Don't be on our
Here.
side. Don't join our team. Don't be a good guy now. I can't. Xenos, listen to me. I'm in a very fragile place right now. I'm going through a lot. And I will not cope if you join our team. You need to be the villain. I need to look forward to beating you in battle. And I can't do that if you join our team. You're here to fight. You're here to fight. You're not here to join our team. You're here to fight. Please, I am begging you.
You'll be all right. Hurry to the airship. Why have you come?
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying. Poor sport, alas. Unfit to temper my blade.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
That is, and has ever been, my sole concern. You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry. Your passion pales before mine. Yet neither hate nor despair seems sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust. So, I hone my blade, and I wait.
That's it. That's all you care about. Garlemald is in ruins. Our homeland, the nation you rule, is as good as gone. Along with so many of its people. Not just soldiers like us. Not only those who fought and killed for power and duty. Innocent civilians. Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death. The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing! You slaughtered your countrymen! You did! For what?
For nothing, in the end. So much wasted effort.
You bastard!
For your own sake, Eulus, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome? If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. Duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience when put to proof. Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends? Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle, in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place, as a notch on my blade.
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death. But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
Xenos! Perhaps you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want, not even the battle you pine for so dearly. You'll be alone for an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
Get his ass! Alice, get his ass! Let's go. teach Xenos morality. Just do it. It'd be funny. Why even keep Xenos alive? Why not just let him die in Stormblood? Save us a lot of trouble. Hi, Dad.
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scion's methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Sharlayan. Having caused such an uproar, it is only meet that I explain myself to the Ilzabard contingent.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate, given our familiarity with all concerned. If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
Get his ass. Destroy him. That's all you have to say. All that needs to be said. Man. Endwalker. We couldn't save them all, but if we'd arrived any later, it would have been a massacre. Things were looking bleak until you and the first turned up. Though there'll be a time later to discuss your journey to the first, there is one thing I must ask. Did you, perchance, speak with our friends in the Crystarium? Lena and Beckluke both warned me against overexerting myself. Strange that they would express such similar sentiments, identical in fact, but their advice is truly noted. This is the contingent base of your operations, I take it? Yes, sir. At the very least, I am glad our own members are accounted for. Oh, lucky us. That the final day should manifest here too, after everything these people have suffered, is a fate cruel beyond words. Nevertheless, with allies old and new at our side, there is yet reason to be hopeful. It's been a while since last we spoke. For some time, I was not myself. Lucy and the others told me what happened that night, and about the events that took place while I was receiving treatment. It was only then that I realized the lengths you and yours go to. I know, I might never be able to repay you, but I'll be damned if I don't try. And most of all, I want to thank you, all of you, for everything you've done and continue to do for the sake of my people. This is the best Endwalker character. This is the best new character in Endwalker. To see Xenos standing there so uncaring and so unrepentant, gods, I don't know what came over me. I just blurted out the first thing that came to mind, but looking back on it, I stand by those words. I would say I hope they don't incite him to further villainy, but to be honest, I doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough about all that. It's good to see you again. We still need to quiz you about your time on the first, if we ever get more than a moment's respite.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
Friends. They're friends.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuneau Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuneau. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Charlian alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First World. Did you hear something just now?
Uh-oh. Huh? Wait, what? No. No, wait. Not them. Not the lovebirds. No way.
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
My god.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night, and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
Oh, look who's back.
'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Aetheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvelous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Uriange's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Hydaelyn's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Uriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they...
Oh, you didn't know?
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Hydaelyn's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I, bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperites made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. 'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
to have a few back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the forum and lend thine own wisdom?
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
I dare say Master Foshino was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Heidelin's lunar custodians. As he will soon discover, they have much and more to offer to the forum. Might I suggest we return to the annex forthwith? We may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures ere we are summoned to the rostra. I love the Loporits with all of my heart, but I think that right there is the perfect example of the really bad whiplash going on in this expansion. I adore the Loporits, but I also really liked the dark and harsh storytelling of the Garlean part of the story. And now here are the Loporits. These people are suffering, these people are dying, and here come the Loporits, here to make a funny joke. I love the Loporits with all my heart, but the whiplash, just... that's so... They couldn't just show up at the forum. They had to show up at Garlemald right after a massacre. I also can't help but notice that only nameless NPCs are transforming. The only significant NPCs have been that guy we met Thavnir at the very beginning, and the Surtrap's servant man, his loyal retainer man. And that one hurt. That one hurt. But like, no one's significance being affected. No one ugh. No one's significance being affected yet. Maybe Xenos will turn and be like a boss. Xenos do anything challenge. Not that I'm complaining, Urianger, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee. In extolling the virtues of Therius, I did inadvertently awaken in the Loporits a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Krau tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I have news to share regarding our study of the ethereal sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, so I would rather hear them first. To what revelation did Heidelin's Elpis flower lead? Y'all are not gonna believe the fucking gall of the narrative for the last few hours. Just the gall. The gall of it all. Then this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasa are one and the same, this all but proves Nidhana's theory. We're an entity through sheer force and of emotion to channel this vast dormant reservoir into a raging river. Its power might surpass even that of ether. But if our star is so replete with ether, said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamis of the great expanse. Medion, final boss or whatever. Or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she had been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose, the destruction of Aetherius. For some reason. then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim, to defeat Medion. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Medion and we deliver the world from the final days. Oh! Medion, like meteor. Why did that not click in my brain? Of course it's meteor. It's always meteor with the end of the world. They always do that. But to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Medion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Vana, the woman who would become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Hydaelyn and the Vana you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I'd wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetherius, not to stay. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Medion? No, but Medion is still out there. Aye, though not for lack of trying on Hydaelyn's part. Surely that's why she used me as a conduit for her will and provided clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So, what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Medion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon whereversoever she has made her nest. Then commuting with Hydaelyn must by necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not. Though we enlisted the help of Arenvald and other Echo-blessed allies, we could not detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the Antitower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Hydaelyn. If so, it would most likely be some sort of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the Rostra, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. Then Father was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. To think the Crystal Tower of the First is capable of such feats as sending one's soul into the distant past. The events you witnessed and helped shape may yet hold the key to foretelling the final days. I'm reminded of dear friends in a future I unmade, whose selfless efforts saw the 8th Emerald Calamity averted, in this timeline at least. Too much has been sacrificed for us to abandon Aetherius now. After sending Graha and Estinian back to Garlemald, I stayed in Locus Almenus for a time. Being an imperial province, it was already in turmoil before the onset of the final days. You would not believe the difficulties we had overseeing the evacuation of the villages we visited. I have faith the detachment we left behind will continue our work and shepherd the people to safety, to what safety can be found in the world coming to an end. Master Matoya has suspected for some time that the Forum has been constructing a new facility for the purposes of surveying the Ethereal Sea. Of course, as the custodian of the Antitower, which would presumably be rendered obsolete as a result, she has a few things to say about that. Nothing that should be repeated in polite company, you understand. After you left for Garlemald, I went to Labyrinthos to try to reach Hydaelyn using the Elpis flowers. Alas, my attempts were in vain. I can only assume that she spent a vast amount of her power in the confrontation with Van Daniel and is presently unable to communicate. Indeed, as her presence left my body, I could feel how faint it had grown. I hope you don't mind me staying behind while you attend your big meeting. The rostrum reminds me a bit too much of the supremely scary tribunal in Ishgard. You'll forgive me if I keep my distance. Father has granted us the opportunity we've been waiting for. Though we know not what information, if any, they intend to reveal, there's only one way to find out. To the rostra! Well, that was a much quicker response than I was expecting. Nice to know our efforts on the Magna Glacias didn't go unnoticed. At first, I wasn't sure what to make of Hermes and his motives. But it's like we discussed at the Great Work. When faced with the harsh realities of life, some seek the release of death. Others grow defiant. They fight. Either way, it is our right to choose. 'Twas Hydaelyn's commandment that in the event Zodiark should perish, the Loperids were to deliver the people of Aetherius from harm. Though that be the limit of her duties, they possess knowledge unparalleled to the great expanse and the means of its traversal. Should they be persuaded to assist us in our efforts to reach Medion, we would do well to heed their counsel. We would use the moon ship to fight Medion or whatever. We would do that. Absolutely. That's what the dungeon on the moon is gonna be. Going to find Medion. They keep talking about Corvus. I'm more and more unsure if we're ever gonna go. Who knows? Not I.